Alright, working on the old truck again today, and let me tell you where we left off. We got the basic shape of this whole panel here, and then I went and I spot filled some of the low areas, and then sort of feathered this out. This here is very thin. You know, you can actually see through it in some spots. So we're going to airboard this down, and it should be pretty close. We're going to try to get this, if not primed, ready for prime, you know, by the end of the day. So let me airboard this down, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, yeah, I got this panel where I like it, and I think it'll be okay. And I'm not worrying about this swale here yet, this little body line. We'll do that after we glaze this all up. I did find a slight little swale right here and right here, so we're gonna glaze it all the way up to here. So I'm gonna glaze it, and then today's Friday, but let it sit until Monday and see how the weather is. So alright, let me throw some glaze on here, and we'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Alright, yeah, we got a coat of glazing putty on there, and it's very thin. You can actually see through it in some spots, but that's what it's for, scratches and very minor imperfections, and I'm happy with it. I mean, that panel was pretty well butchered. It's looking good now, so it is only a truck. It's going to look good, but it's going to look too good. So it's about 90 degrees out here right now, and I'm an old decrepit man. I shouldn't be out here in this kind of weather, so I'm going to clean up and call it a day. So we'll see you guys on Monday, weather permitting. Alright, see you then. Alright, it's Monday morning now, and a little cool out here. It's nice, refreshing. And about 9 o'clock, and we're gonna block this down. We got the 32-inch block. Matter of fact, it's so big, I don't think you can see it with me holding it. There we go, 32-inch block, and that's a little more than half the size of the panel I'm doing. So it's this should get us pretty straight. All right, we're going to sand that down with 80 and see what we got. All right, maybe I'll throw you guys up on a tripod for a minute or so. Funny, it feels like you're not doing anything, because you know, the grit's so fine. This is 80 grit, but then, you know, you look down on the bottom and you see the dust, and you know you're doing something. So alright. I'll continue blocking this down, and then we'll turn you on and see what it looks like. Alright, it's another day, and I blocked this out, and this is about as perfect as you're going to get. You know, it's pretty good. Matter of fact, it's 100 times better than the factory was. So what I'm doing now is, before I prime it, I got to fix this little body line here, this swale, and sand this panel here into this little curve here, and then it's going along pretty good here. But then I'm gonna run into here where it was all shrunk and stuff, so that's gonna give me a little trouble. But another thing, the way the factory did it is a real distinctive curve and a swale, and then the further back you get, this is pretty much flat, and then you have just a very tiny little curve in there. So, you know, that's just the way they make trucks and stuff back then. Even today, you know, they punch this stuff out with a 150-ton press, and you know, what comes out, and that's what goes on the road. Plus, up here, I gotta stick around with this because this panel here, remember, it used to be bolted on, and we welded it on. And where they bolted it on, they just had it. This here, under here, was a 90, pretty much a 90-degree radius. And then this here is a swale. So I filled this in here and sort of made it graduate into that. I think it'll look a lot better than just having a big step. It looked kind of goofy. So I'm gonna dick around with that and fix this, and then we'll see what that looks like when we're done. But I'm happy with it. It's you're never gonna know it was hit when I get done with it, and that's what we want. All right, we'll show you that one when we finish this off. This here's gonna take me a little bit. That's gonna take a little finesse. All right, before you go any further, I'll show you how I got to where we're at here, because a couple guys are probably gonna wonder. I use this big rubber block here to get the basic shape, which is pretty close, you know. And I worked that all the way down to pretty much where it belongs, and then I got this thinner one. I'm holding it in my left hand, so if it's a little shaky, forgive it. And then the little swale, just work that into the other panel. And there are, like where it was ground and stuff like that, there were little divots sticking out, and you can see where they were sort of filled. So right now that's perfectly flat. And like I say, I'm going to work this. It'd be nice if I had a longer block, but this one's doing fine. Okay, that's coming in. I think there might be a tiny little speck of a low spot there, but we'll get it. Whatever it takes, we'll get it. But like I say, right here, this here's going to take a little extra attention. We'll get it though. All right. See, he's on the back side. All right. Yeah, it's another day. We sanded that all down, and it's damn near perfect. You know, we got the line here that we want, and everything's right where we want, and it's ready for paint. You know, but chance of rain. It has rained earlier this morning, but I don't think we're going to paint it today. But there are a couple minor imperfections here. You know, like some pinholes here I want to take care of, and then down here I got an edge I don't like. You know, so I'm just going to put a little, even with my finger, just smear a nice thin coat. It would have some sanding filler would have, or some sanding primer, sandable filler primer would have filled them in, but I'd rather put another coat, a light coat of glazing putty on there, and then it's ready for paint. But like I say, I'd rather not paint it today. And I was able to find a longer round piece that had the right radius, and that made everything perfect. Yeah, when you come down and you hit the metal, you can't go any further. That's the no-go zone. So you know, even though you can see it, you can't feel it. So we're happy with that. All right, let me finish these little pinholes, and then I guess we'll wait for some good weather. I don't think we're going to have it for about 4 days. I think we're expecting about 3 or 4 inches of rain in the next 4 or 5 days. So, alright, let me finish that, and I guess we'll see you when we see you, right? And you know what? Let's see if we can look at that. That's nice, man. Alright, remember this thing was crushed. Came out of a junkyard, so it's gonna look alright. Alright, it's been about 4 days, and yeah, we had a lot of rain the last 4 days, and I was finally able to finish this. And even then, you know, you look now and there's rain clouds out there and stuff. So I tried to get, I just wanted to get some primer on it. I'll probably sand this down and reprime it, but for now I just wanted to get some paint on there. But all the body work's done, and I'm happy with it. It's smooth and flat, and considering what it was, man, it looks crazy good, you know what I mean? Way too good for this truck. But a little dirt bike and daddy dirt bike's coming over tonight, so I'm gonna get them to help me turn this thing around so I can start working on the other side. I don't know if I'm gonna film that or not. We might not, but we'll see. Alright, see you later. Alright, it's another day here, and we're going to try and do some work on this. We were able to turn the trailer around, and we're going to do this side now. And I don't know if you can notice it, but it's a little dull and dreary out. Matter of fact, you see the raindrops on the truck here. It's raining a little bit, but we're still going to try and sand this down. We'll hog this down with 40 grit, and I don't think we're going to run into any problems here, other than the holes that we filled in with, we welded in and plugged up from the molding. And then down here we put the piece of metal in there, and we ground all this off already and just put the fiberglass on there to keep it from rusting. Same with down here, but I don't know how far we're going to get today. Like I say, it is spritzing a little bit, but I don't think that's going to hold us up. We're not going to show you us doing this because you've seen it on the other side, but we'll show you what it looks like underneath there after we rip all this down with the mud hog. Alright, we'll see you then. Alright, it's starting to rain a little harder now, so I think I may pack it in. Maybe try again after lunch. But this side is it seems to be a lot tougher than the other one. I don't know how many coats of paint this has on here. Let's try and count them here. Is the top coat green? You see the rain? You got a green top coat. Then you got a lighter green, and then you got a dark gray, then a light gray, then a yellow, and then like a red. I don't know, this red might be nitrostan, I'm not sure, but and then you got another dark green, and then a dark gray, and then a light gray. And chances are this probably isn't the original paint job. This might have been taken down to metal. So I don't know how many paint jobs we just went through there, but it's quite a bit. You can actually feel an edge. Gotta be almost an 1/8 of an inch. It's crazy. Yeah, you got the dark, got a light green, a dark green, a light gray, a dark gray, a yellow, and then that's some kind of dark green, and then another light gray. Yeah, this thing's been through the ringer. So, and then I ran into some body putty up here, a little dent. I'm gonna grind that out with the grinder, but you can see how much water we're getting here. So now we're just making mud up top. That's why no sense in continuing on. All right, we'll come out later if it's not raining. All right, we'll see you then. All right, it stopped raining, and I had lunch. We came out here and it's dried up pretty good, and I had to change my game plan here because this was so bad. I had to hit it with a 24 grit grinding disc there. Yeah, this side here was in bad shape. Got a dent up here. You got a big dent. You got a dent right here, and then this big long thing here is a dent. And you know, and the rest of it feels like it really needs work. And then this back panel was probably beat in pretty good at one time. So now I'm going to hit it with the smaller grinder and get rid of all this body putty in these little holes and stuff, and all along here and in the grooves. And then we'll start from scratch. But yeah, the other side was a piece of cake. This one here is going to be a challenge. Alright, we'll keep you up to date. Alright, I marked out all my low spots here with the pencil. Right here I got another low spot here, low spot, a little tiny one here. I marked all my low spots, and I'm going to go around and fill all the low spots in, including this. And then we'll come back after that hardens and then just put a smear coat over that whole thing, and then we'll cut it down. Alright, it's been a few days now, and I did the body work on this. Like I said, I wasn't going to show you that because, you know, you can just look at the other video, right? It's the same thing, just different side. So I did the body work on that. I didn't put a glaze coat on there yet, though, and even this part down here, I did the body work on this. This was a little rougher than I thought. And did the dog leg. I didn't do the top of the dog leg because I'm going to do that when I do the body line on this. So, and good thing I took it down the middle because I ran into a bad spot in the dog leg here. And been repaired, and it must have been repaired a long time ago. Almost when the truck must have been new, because I was going to just weld it up and everything, you know, because it was cracking and stuff, you know, the actual metal was cracking. And then I looked at it and I said, it's better just to cut it out and put a piece in it. And there was actually lead on it. They used the lead to repair it, so I had to grind all the lead off. But right now, instead of glaze coat and everything, it's getting late in the day. I think I'm going to take a grinder to this side panel here, and we can look and see what we got to do there. So we're gonna have to do the whole thing. I could just tell from the, you know, the waves in it. You know, even as bad as this thing and as wavy as it is, you know, it looks good from you know, 4 or 5 foot. So the guy, like I said, the guy that did the body work on this previous to me did a good job. You know, it's just time to redo it. So. Alright, I'm going to get the 24 grit. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but like here you got some cracks in the, that probably goes right down to the metal, and cracks here. And then right here you got bubble. So, it's time to redo it. Alright, let me get my 24 grit wheel and we'll start knocking that off. That's going to be a monumental task there. We'll show it to you when we're done. Alright, we pretty much got the side done here, all ground down, and it took me about an hour. I had to shut down operations and go out to dinner. But I'm back now. We'll start work tomorrow. But this panel isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's bad, believe me, it's bad. But you know, this whole section here is pretty good. Got a little tiny dent here. I gotta grind that with my little grinder, and a little dent here, and then down here we put that piece of metal in. So this whole thing is going to be pretty easy. But over here there was a bad dent at one time, and they must have had some wheel canning, because see these little dots and stuff. You can see where they heated it up and knocked it in. Same with down here. You know, I'm going to grind out with my little grinder, get that out of there. And down here, same thing. They must have had a little bit of oil canning. It's in good shape now, but they knocked that in. And over here we got a little dent here, got another little dent up top here, and then we got this little section here where we welded the taillight onto the quarter panel. So all in all, it's not bad. I thought this body line was going to be horrible, and it's actually perfect. All the way right down here where they put a few pock marks, but yeah, I'm glad I ground that all out. So alright, that's where we're at. You know, if this had been in better shape, this truck and everything, or put in a body shop, they would have replaced this whole panel. I think you can get that whole side plus the tail light for about $900 or $1,000. It would probably cost you a couple $100 to ship it, but I don't think they would have did all this body work to these three. The whole thing's going to be done. So, but it's alright. I'd rather do that. I got nothing but time. So, alright, we're going to do that body work up and see what it looks like when we're done. Alright, it's been a few days, and I did all the body work to this side panel, and I didn't put the final glaze coat on there, but all the body work is done, and it's straight as can be. So the only thing I didn't finish is the body line here, and there were the few places that there were issues, like right here. And while I was doing the rest of the body work, you know, I was sort of building up that area, because it's all going to have to come down. You know, that area was pretty bad. That's where they actually had to re-weld a patch in. And you got this little area here, and then right here there was a little area, and then back here where we butted together. Actually, where we butted it together really isn't much of a problem, except right there. If you look real close, there's where I welded it. There's two little titties sticking up. But instead of knocking them in, I know there's plenty of weld there, so I can grind that. You just when you grind that kind of stuff, you just got to be real careful that you don't get it so hot that it melts the plastic underneath it. So you just have to sort of tap at it. So like I said, I know there's plenty of metal there to grind down, and we'll get that. But that's like I said, that's where we welded it together. But there's a problem right here. You know, it's sort of like a dent or a swale. So that's what we'll get. We'll get that. I sort of sanded this down so I can establish the body line. And here's the original body line. So I can run a piece of tape along there, and then like I said, the rest of it's we're actually going to have to make this whole body line here. And then especially right here, you see how sort of thin it is. It's about an inch and a quarter, I guess, inch and a half. And then right here it looks like it's about 2 inches, but like I say, most of that's going to come off. So we'll show you how we shape that. That's pretty interesting. So alright, maybe I'll throw you up on a tripod, and we'll show you how it's done. I got a ruler here, and you can actually see that where that little tit is really isn't too bad. You know, it's just about perfectly flush there, but right next to it you can see where's the little 1/16 of a gap there, and we'll get that. I got a little bit of a bump right there. We can tap that in, and then like I say, it's not going to take much filler there at all. And then down here you can't see any light at all. You know, it's pretty darn good there. Alright, so let's address this, and we'll continue on, and I'll show you how we do that. Alright, I'll show you how I'm going to get that body line. I've established over here and sanded down where it is, and right here, you get a pencil. I've established where the line is, and right here is the body line, and then down over here That looks like where the edge is. It's tough to determine where the edge is because this is actually a rounded edge. We're going to make it crisp and then come back and smooth it down. But I use the magic marker so you can see this. And hopefully that's where it'll land. So what I do is I get a pair of dividers here. And you establish where your line is. And then you just follow it around. Like that. And normally I could actually etch that in there. There you go, it came pretty close. And then I can lay my tape out. But for the sake of you guys seeing me, I actually set up a set of dividers here with a pencil on it. And you just stick it under there, that's where our line is. And we'll just bring that around here. They actually make a tool for this, but I'm happy with this one. You come around here, and that's actually pretty close. That's very close, within a 16th, so we'll leave that there. And then once you get your line established, you can get your tape and run your tape right along there. Remember, this is going to be a rounded edge, so it's not critical, but you want to make it as nice and crisp and close as you can get it. I hope my head's not in your way, but if it is, let me know. Alright, so it's pretty close. I like to put 2 layers of tape there. You can actually see now how much we got to take off, but that's not going to be any problem. Alright, so that's our line. Now I'll just get a straight edge. Let me get over here. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then I'll work that down with this until we get down to that line. And then, see, I'm not going to have to make that round edge up there, but over here I probably will. And when I do that, I'll be using this round edge because that's the same diameter as right there. So for now, let's bring all this putty down to that line, that body line, and we'll see how that looks. Alright, yeah, we're just about there. When you see the tape starting to fray a little bit, you know you're starting to go a little too far. But we're just about there, so let's see what it looks like. There we go. Like I say, that edge is going to get rolled over, so once it gets rolled over, you won't see anything. I put that there so I don't damage the area that was already done. Alright, so there is a little spot here that needs putty, and a little spot here, and then we'll just go over the whole little area there and round that area up, and then I gotta do them 2 other spots. So there you go. All right, let me do them other spots, and then we'll see what it looks like. All right, so it's been about 4 days. It's over the weekend and stuff. Had a little rain and stuff, but I did all the body work. Got the body work done on the side here, and the body work on the dog leg, and I'm happy with everything. So this video is getting pretty long, so we're going to end it, and I'll just let you know what I'm going to do, and then we'll start anew with another video. And I'm going to take some glazing putty and do this whole thing all down the side, same with this middle section, all down the side, and then down this dog leg and this bottom piece. At this point, Some guys would just spray it. This is good enough to spray with some polyester filler or something like feather filler or something like that, you know. But that stuff's expensive, and you know, I really don't need to spend that money on it, you know, because I have the time. Body shops would do that just to save the time. I've seen some guys spray cars with like 5 gallons of that stuff, you know, and then block it down, and it would be nice. But I don't have to do that. You know, I got plenty of time, and I got plenty of glazing putty, so I'm gonna glaze this up and then block it down by hand, and it should be plenty good. Alright, so that's where we're at, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, enough of this.